What is going on, everybody? Been a diehard Pistons fan since '03 and eager to see this team getting back to playing winning basketball. Amongst Pistons fans, one of the most polarizing topics is, can Cade Cunningham truly become a superstar alpha 1A primetime NBA player? If you guys have watched my channel for very long, you know how I feel on that, but I know that he's not there yet. Even though that I think he will be, he's not quite there yet. So in this video, we're going to talk about 3 things that Cade can make improvements on this year to get him to that finish line of being a true NBA All-Star caliber player. So the first thing I just want to steamroll out of the way before we get into the list of 3 important things is the spacing. Because realistically, that has been out of his control for the past couple of years. It doesn't take a basketball savant to realize that a player like Cade Cunningham will benefit from having more shooters on the floor with him. We've got more of those now. That should be able to be left unsaid because it's pretty obvious that that will benefit Cade to open up the floor to him. So since that's really out of his control, that's now in the hands of Trajan to go get those players and in the hands of JB to put those players on the floor around him. We're not going to include having more spacing because that's just too easy. So the first thing on the list is going to be finishing better at the rim. In my opinion, this is going to be the most important out of the 3. That's why it's first. And there's a couple factors that play into it. So in case you guys weren't aware, Cade's numbers at finishing at the rim last season were not good. He was in like the 9th percentile in the league or something like that. It just genuinely was not a good percentage, a field goal percentage of rim attempts, layups within 5 feet or dunks, right? So as I mentioned, a couple things play into that. Why was it low to begin with? A couple different reasons. Number one, he doesn't draw that many fouls. Now, is this something that he can improve on? Absolutely. Did Cade get a pretty bad whistle last year? I would say so, and I'm going to make it a mission for myself to go back and watch some cut footage from the highlow.com. In case you guys don't know, it's a website where you can go in, type in what you want. I'm going to go in there and type in Cade missed 2-point field goals within 5 feet and just try and zoom out and rewatch a little bit of it with less of a critical, emotional eye, right? So I'm definitely the last person that's ever going to hop on the officiating. I paid my bills through college by officiating basketball. My brother-in-law keeps a full schedule. My cousin has been officiating for 20 years. I understand the perspective of a ref, but there was some games last year where Cade was just not getting these calls at the rim, and it felt like more of them should have went his way in certain nights. Sometimes it felt like Cade was getting officiated the way that I used to officiate AAU kids on my 9th game of the day when I'm ready to get out of there. Just swallow the whistle and let that clock run down. So, nevertheless, can he improve on drawing fouls? Absolutely. Do I think that he will? Yes. How can he do that? By becoming more experienced and also stronger. That would be like the most no-brainer ideas for how to improve on drawing fouls, because outside of that, I really don't got a clue. So I think that he can improve by drawing more fouls, of course, getting stronger, being able to fight through more contact to finish those, whether he's getting the whistle or not, and just overall making better use of the space that's on the floor to get to the rim with less help defenders. So I think that stuff will work itself out, but it is important that if Cade truly does want to be a true superstar in this league, he's going to have to get to the free throw line more, and he's going to have to finish at the rim better. Number 2 on the list is going to be the defensive side of the ball. So the number 1 thing with Cade's defense is he has the physical tools to be a good defender. Now, he isn't the most laterally quick player in the league. I wouldn't want him to guard other star point guards like Ja Morant or whoever else is notable for just having a lightning quick burst, but he does have enough physical tools to be a plus NBA defender, and I'm really not sure if he's quite that just yet. When watching Cade over these couple of years, the thing that I notice about him defensively is that when he plays aggressively on defense, it typically looks really good. It can lead to steals, it can lead to block attempts, it can lead to a lot of good things. When does Cade play aggressive? when he's not in foul trouble. So often this past year, the Pistons would start first quarter off tip. Cade would pick up 2 ticky-tack hand check type of fouls where he really didn't need to do that. Of course, being a bit aggressive, but nothing over the top. But once he got those couple fouls under his belt, now he has 3 in the first half, then he would just really play off of people and then really dial back that defensive intensity and really not look good on the defensive side of the ball. If Cade had 3 fouls in the first half, or if he had 4 or 5 in the second half, you could expect him to give up a lot of easy buckets. So I think the way that Cade can become a better defender and use those physical tools that we talked about in a better way is to ease up on those ticky-tack fouls in the first half, stay out of foul trouble, and be a bit more pointed with that aggression and defensive motor. Because when he does use it, it can lead to good things on that end of the ball. So number 3 is going to be cutting down on the turnovers. I think that he's already made great strides in this aspect during his short career to date. I think that even throughout last season, he made strides cutting down on turnovers. I think that turnovers are probably one of the most poorly understood statistics from the broader basketball fan base. I don't believe that all turnovers are created equal. I think that there's certain turnovers that are fine. A lot of MVPs of the NBA have also led the league in turnovers. If you're going to be a star player, you're going to have the ball in your hands a lot. And if you're going to have the ball in your hands a lot, you're going to make a lot of plays. And if you're making a lot of plays, you're going to have a lot of turnovers. But there's definitely certain turnovers that need to go. Which ones are those? Those are the live ball, falling asleep at the wheel turnovers that we did sometimes see from Cade Cunningham last season. Certain just kind of lazy entry passes with a lot of time left in the shot clock that leads to an easy 2 on the other end. Those need to go. The ones that can stay are the ones where maybe there's 3 seconds left on the shot clock and he sees opposite side corner open and he sails it just a bit too high on a skip pass. Or Jalen Duren's cutting to the rim on the short roll. His defender comes up and hedges, and now he's got a lot of stuff going on around him, and he maybe just misses the dump down pass that he normally makes. Those turnovers, those can stay. The ones that need to go are the live ball, falling asleep at the wheel turnovers. So I know throughout this video, it might sound like I think that Cade has a lot to work on, because I think that if he does these things, he can be so good. I still believe in Cade's ceiling the same way that I believed in it when he was at Oklahoma State, before the Pistons even drafted him. I felt like Cade could be a true bona fide star in this league, and I still feel like he can be. I think everything outside of these 3 facts that I brought up, or 3 topics that I brought up, are already either very, very good, like his mid-range scoring, like his ability to create for others, his size, or they're going to be on pace to be very good as well. So I think if he can sort these 3 things out, finishing at the rim better, being a bit more aggressive on defense, but in a smart way, and cutting down on the turnovers, I think every single last person that is a fan of the Pistons will feel the same way I do about Cade and his ceiling, because right now there's still just that small sliver of the fan base who feels like maybe he isn't quote-unquote that guy. But I do, and I think that these 3 things, if he improves on them, he'll be there like that. Let me know what you guys think. I know it's pretty, I want to say polarizing topic, because it's a small minority that feels like he's really not that dude. But let me know if you guys do feel that way. I'll catch up with y'all soon.